Welcome, guys. It's that time of the week again where we take a look at some of the most notable post 1950 coins to sell this past week. We have a huge one here for you, ladies and gentlemen. Not only did we have some really nice pieces to talk about from the recently completed Heritage Auctions Central States show, but we also have some other ones also through great collections that we're also going to look at. In total, we have a grip of about 14, 15 coins up for discussion today that we're going to review. So through it all, when I'm all done, would love to hear exactly what your comments, what you think about these coins. Go ahead and post them below. You know the drill. Your boy Sean is going to go ahead and get started here with all of the great collections coins, some of the most notable coins, as a matter of fact, to sell this past week. And this is the Monday market report for the week ending April 28th, 2019. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. And let's go ahead and get started with this 1952 Lincoln cent. This is a beauty. Again, it's a top pop coin that we're talking about here. It's a PCGS graded mid-state 67 full red coin. This one's a beauty. I think it's worthy of the grade. When you get to this grade level, things, get kind of nitpicky in terms of the overall appeal and look of these coins. This one is also CAC certified. So PCGS seems to think that this one at 67 red is exactly what it is. And then you have a certification company like CAC that backs up this grade. You put two and two together, and you have a coin that is undeniably one of the nicest coins out there. So this one sold on Great Collections for $1,586.25. It's a nice magical coin, and I'm willing to bet it will end up in someone's registry here pretty soon. All right, so the next coin that we have here for you today is a 1951S Lincoln cent. Again, another super atomic high graded coin. This one is NGC graded mid-state 67 plus, and it is full red. This one sold, however, for $1,039.50. Generally, San Francisco minted coins exhibit better strike quality, better detail. The plancha quality is much better than some of those Philadelphia, coins of the same date. So that's why, even though it's graded higher than the 52 preceding it, this one sold for less money. So, just in the marketplace, San Francisco minted coins, okay, grade out better generally. So that's that one here for you. So this next coin I wanted to talk about is one that we are all no stranger to, and it's the 2019 West Point Lowell quarter. I've been talking about this thing for the last 2-3 weeks. And finally, it was bound to happen. One of the discovery coins, okay, as you guys know, there were two that PCGS had graded that qualified for the $5,000 bounty, which those two individuals ended up splitting that little honeypot in half. So this one here is the better of the two at a mid-state 66 through PCGS. And this one, as what I thought it would, sold for $5,175.00. $5,100 for a modern quarter. It seems like a lot of money, and it probably is. I'm not going to lie to you. This is where we're to the point in the first initial release of the circulation rarity quarters that I could say that you have to tread lightly and be careful. Graded coins are in mass. Okay, if you guys take a look at the population reports, there are a ton of 64s and 65s. There is a whole mess of mid-state 66, and there's about 12 examples that graded out mid-state 67. So the market is officially flooded with the first initial release of the Lowell quarter. Actual raw examples to this day, it's starting to hit the $20 mark. There are coins that are struggling out of the gate to sell for $20 per coin. There are instances where they sell around probably $25, but that's few and far between, especially if you are buying full rolls of these things. So the Lowell National Park, this is probably as high as you're going to see it. It's my understanding that a Mint State 67 example is currently out on the market, and I believe it realized somewhere in the $1,600 range. That's pretty much the top of the market for these. And, you know, grades of 64 and 65 are plummeting. You could buy a Mint State 64 graded coin for around $150 today, maybe even a little bit less than that. And the Mint State 65s, in which the very first example, we all know, Diggin' Dave sold his for $650. These coins have dropped all the way down to around $300. So again, because of how many there are in the marketplace, the prices on these graded coins are going to continue to slip and slide till it reaches, you know, some sort of floor. I can't really speculate what that floor is, but it's going to be cheap. If you wanted to get an example of one of those first week of discovery pieces, I would give it another 7 to 10 days. You could find one probably for under $100, real easy. So that's the Lowell West Point coin. By the way, that's the one discovered by Michael T, or graded by Michael T in Virginia. So the next coin that we have right here, changing directions yet again, is a 1953 Franklin half dollar. Okay, and this is how crazy the Franklin half dollar market is today. For those of you that do not follow Franklin halves, it's either you either love it or you don't like it. Okay, there's kind of like no gray shaded area. It's a short series. In the case of this 1953, okay, it's a proof example, which everybody knows proof coins of the early 50s are few and far between because they have extremely thin, skinny mintages. All right, in some cases, under 10,000 sets were made. So finding nice, acceptable market examples are pretty tough this day and age. So we have an example here that was graded NGC Proof 68. Now this one has no cameo, okay, no ultra cameo, no regular cameo. This is just a basic, you know, really nice proof half dollar. This one sold for $1,663.88 through Great Collections this past week. And again, a coin that has no cameo designation that still sells for this kind of money, again, lets everyone know that there is a huge market for non-cameo proof Franklin half dollars. So it's nice to see this one shoot up to the stratosphere there. So we have another proof Franklin half dollar here for you. It's a 1952. This one graded out NGC Proof 65. However, this one has some really frosty ultra cameo on there. This is the best coin out of the whole bunch that I have here for you. 4 Franklin half dollars. This one sold on Great Collections for $4,363.88. This thing is a bomb. Okay, it's about as nice as you could get. And to find even one with some sort of cameo in these earlier proof sets, it's like a needle in a haystack. It's that difficult. And then finally, we have one more Franklin half dollar here for you. And it's a 1950. Okay, this is one of the earliest ones that we've seen. Franklin half dollar, this one graded out NGC Proof 67, which seems to be kind of like that middling grade for these earlier proofs. Okay, to find one in 68 or 69 is really tough. Again, this one has no cameo on it. It's just kind of like your run-of-the-mill looking proof, you know, Franklin half dollar. This one sold for $3,676.50 through Great Collections. This is about as crazy as it gets for a non-cameo proof Franklin half. Really tough coin, pretty neat, absolutely attractive looking, I will say so myself. But it's a lot of money. Sold for a great deal of money, and again, you don't see these every day. So we have one final coin that I want to highlight off of the Great Collection sale this past week. And it is an error that traditionally doesn't come up at all. And if you looked at it in an actual proof set during its time, it could fool you. And that's a 2002 Sacagawea Dollar. All right, this one right here is missing the actual clad reverse. Okay, so it looks more of a dark bronzy color than what the typical kind of goldy color is for these sack dollars. So this one here exhibits, again, really tough to discern exactly what's error and what's not. So this one right here is a missing clad reverse error. This one was graded Annex, proof 63 with a deep cameo. This one sold for a ton of money, and that would be $3,487.50. Again, I'm sure that this coin right here isn't nearly as apparent as an error when it's sitting in its proof jewel case that comes from the mint. You would have to look really hard to know that this is indeed an error. Okay, so for it to be kind of missing reverse clad piece, really neat coin. I've never personally seen one, but this is a coin that I guess that it's worth every single penny because of what it is. You just don't see it that often. So we're going to go ahead and jump over to some of the Central States Heritage Auctions listings that sold within the last few days. Okay, this is an auction sale that ran, I believe, from the 24th to the 27th. A lot of great coins were represented in this particular sale. The first one right here is a coin that, probably looks like it's been in circulation for a little while, which is why on the thumbnail, you never know where you could find these coins. Okay, was this coin discovered in a coin roll? Was it discovered in a piggy bank? Was it discovered in Grandpa's cigar box? These are coins, the ones that exhibit some sort of wear and color as if they've seen circulation, can pop up anywhere. This is a 1970s. Okay, this is the second most difficult double die to find in terms of overall eye appeal. And that's the double die obverse. It's cataloged FS101. This one graded out NGC Mint State 65 red brown. Okay, so the coin's been oxidized a little bit to give it somewhat of that brown appearance. Again, it looks like a coin that has seen some circulation at some point, but this is a tremendous coin nonetheless. This one sold on Heritage for $3,500.40. It seems like a lot of money for a 1970 Lincoln penny, and it is, but it's a coin that is deserved of every single dollar that this one garnered and fetched at auction. So it's definitely one to keep your eye out on. So not to be outdone, we also have another radical double die that a lot of you guys are familiar with, and it's a 1972 Lincoln Cent. Okay, this one right here is the famous, world famous double die obverse FS101. So this is double die obverse variety number 1. This one exhibits the most incredible, if not most dramatic, rotation in the doubling on the obverse of the coin. This one graded out at a monumental PCGS Mint State 67 red, full red. This one is nice. I don't think the pictures do it justice. I think this coin looks much more lustrous than the actual images appear to be. So this one sold for $4,080. It's good to see coins like this still selling for quite a bit of money. This is a coin that probably as recently as 2 or 3 years ago sold for somewhere in the $6,000 to $7,000 range, based off of what I've seen on trends. So the coin market-wise has dipped a little bit, but these are going to be coins that will, in time will appreciate in value. Okay, there's just less and less of these out there, especially at this high grade level like the 67. So this next coin right here is one that leaves a lot to the imagination. This is a coin that everybody looks for and has failed miserably, even myself. I can't find one of these, but it just goes to show you how rare it is. It's the 1982. Okay, keep in mind this is the small date Denver coin. This is a coin right here that was never supposed to exist. It was only supposed to be made in a copper-coated zinc planchet. However, this one was produced as one of those earlier bronze planchets. So this one will weigh out somewhere in that 3.11 gram range. So this coin right here, okay, graded out NGC AU58. So this one looks like, first of all, I'm going to say this right now. It doesn't look like AU58. It looks like XF. Just the way it looks, this looks like something that was probably picked up off of a gas station floor at one point. That's how cruddy this thing looks. Not to say that all gas stations are cruddy, but, you know, this is a coin that typically, you know, you don't find in some honey hole, okay? But this coin has obviously been passed through many hands, and you know what? That's like $10,000 slipping through your fingertips every time it, you know, gets used and deposited to the bank or spent at a gas station to buy, you know, a pack of smokes. It's like 10 grand just like slipping through your fingers. This one sold for $10,800. It's a lot of money. It seems like a lot of money compared to the actual look of the coin, which looks like a verifiable beater in all intents and purposes. But this is a coin that everybody should look for. Okay, even the folks that don't know anything about coins, if you know this coin right here, this is going to end up being one of the most famous errors in coinage history, and people continually cash in huge when they find stuff like this. So that's the 1982D small date bronze transitional Lincoln penny. Absolutely stunning. Coming up next is a coin that I love quite more than probably I need to love, and that's 1952D Washington quarter. This one right here exhibits absolutely wild toning. Okay, this is about as crusty as you can find, and this, you could imagine that this spent some time in an album, in a old jewelry box, you know, where the actual atmospheric conditions, you know, create a lot of the coloration on this coin. This one graded out PCGS Mint State 67. Actually, this is a Jefferson Nickel. Sorry. This one is also colorful. This one looks like it's been in an album because of the way the targeted bullseye toning is on there. This one right here, again, is a full steps example. So it has some of that strong strike on the reverse to where you have the fully defined steps right in the middle of Monticello. Okay, so this one right here is sold for $8,400. This is a beautiful coin. This is like one of my top 2 coins on this list in terms of eye appeal. No doubt about it. This is a beauty. So coming up next, we're almost done, guys. We have here a 1959 Washington quarter. Now we are officially in the quarter land. This one also has some of that beautiful toning. Again, this is the Crusty coin right here that I was talking about before. I was actually paying attention, so feel free to knock me on this one. This one is a bomb. PCGS graded Mint State 67 plus, CAC certified. This thing is magnificent, and it's sold for $9,600. This is what dreams are made of. Again, this is a coin that has been well preserved, either an album or it's been stored in a little magical box somewhere to be able to have the coloration on this. This one is ridiculous. The next coin is also super ridiculous too in terms of eye appeal, and that's going to be this 1961D Washington quarter. This one graded out PCGS Mint State 67. For those of you that aren't familiar with some of the rarities of the early 60s Washington quarters, Mint State 67, 61Ds, 62Ds, and 63Ds are probably some of the more ridiculously difficult coins to find in that grade. This is one such example, and I think the toning, this is a super toner if I've ever seen one. This is a coin that I alluded to as being found in Grandpa's cigar box, or, you know, it could have been Dad's old coin album at one point. The color on this is an absolute prism of radiance. Okay, this one sold for $5,760. It's a pretty magnificent coin. Okay, you don't see toning this crusty and this original. Okay, which means that through its lifetime, this coin was never played around with. It was never dipped. It takes many decades for a coin to look like this. And finally, we are going to hit it off with the big one of the week. And it's funny because I did a video on this like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And it's the 1964 special mint set candy half dollar. Okay, this is that experimental strike that I was talking about in a previous video, in which the U.S. Mint was converting over from full-on proof coins to a special mint set variant, okay, where the coins exhibited more of a business strike look and less proof features. So less of the mirroring, less of the frosty devices. They were going to give up the proof coinage strikes for a few years. So as we all know, 65 to 67 was his time period. They had produced a number of coins for 1964 that was never supposed to get out, but somehow, some way they did. However that happened remains to be seen. I am a firm believer that these coins can be discovered somehow, some way in someone's old collection, or possibly in a bag of BU candy half dollars. I don't know the method of release for these coins, but there is a small handful of these out there. But this one right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a PCGS Mint State 67 example. Again, not supposed to exist. Okay, and it's sold for $108,000. If that isn't proof positive that this thing should not exist, I don't know what is. It's borderline unfair the way that this coin just, there was like 10 of them out there, and you know they all sell for, you know, insane briefcases loads of money. $108,000. Let that sink in throughout the rest of the day. But whew, that was a mouthful. That was a handful of coins. We had a lot to talk about. I'm glad I was able to hit up various different things. I apologize for the screw up halfway through the thing from one coin to another, but pretty amazing stuff that happened this week. Again, the big sales, when they come up, always garner a lot of attention. They have some of the biggest coins to come out in the marketplace. Now, I didn't even talk any classic coins in this. You guys should take a look at some of the classic fare that's sold this past week on Central States. It's going to blow your mind. So if you wanted more information, you want to look at it firsthand, ha.com. That's Heritage Auctions. And also, thank you to Great Collections for all the images provided for the reviews in this Monday Market Report. I want to thank everyone for joining in. Thank you for all the support and views. As always, the best way you can support my channel is hit the like button. Feel free to share, subscribe. I'd love to hear your comments on any of the coins below. And as always, check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You guys have a wonderful Monday, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, take care.